Hello, welcome to another gold farming video by myself, Bunty. Okay, very straightforward, very simple video today. All it is going to show you a Marrowroot, Oxxein or loop zone. You can just go and farm to your heart's content. Very simple, very straightforward. Solo farm, so you can just go and chill and do it. So I'll show you where we are at the moment. So we're in Marrowroot, and we are just to the southwest of Theatre of Pain. So the zone itself, or the area itself, I'm going to be looking to farm in. It's just to the immediate north of where I am at the moment, to the immediate west of Theatre of Pain. And I'm going to start here in the southern tip. We're going to follow like a clockwise loop around this little zone, this patch here. You can kind of see annotated by the gathermate dots anyway. And then finishing off back down in this southern tip again. So it literally is as straightforward as that. I'll show you exactly where on the screen where I normally sort of run, so you can kind of see where it is as well. So I start down here typically because I normally would fly in, if I'm going to fly in with a different character, to a flight path to the mailbox over there, where I can also just get my Brutosaur and relist auctions. The first herb spot generally spots around here. So again, you're going to be, in terms of herbs, be getting Marrowroot, Death Blossom, and the Nightshade. That's it. So that's the first one. You're going to get some more down here as well. Some more herbs going to spawn up here potentially. Some more ore up here. Again, if you look at the mini map, you can kind of see where the gathermate dots are. I then head up around here. You sometimes get some ore up on this little spiky bit there, with some herbs around here as well. In fact, you can see where the Marrowroot is up there. You get some herbs, some ore up there as well. In fact, and there is some. There's a laserite deposit there, and you get some herbs down here. Now in this central area, again, you can look on the mini map. You can kind of see where the dots are. Various herbs, various ore deposits around here as well. I tend to stay on the left-hand side up here. As I head north, you sometimes get an ore deposit down there. I then cut between these two mobs there. Down into this area, you get some herbs and ore around here as well. More herbs and ore around this area, as well as potentially some ore there and some herbs over there as well. And the way to get to these herbs, because there's normally a mob standing there, you kind of just do a zigzag over here. You can grab where the herbs are on this spot. There he is. You can then come back up on this ledge, jump back down again, and that's you done. You can then pick up the herbs and ore which sort of spawn around this area, and you have a mob up there as well. There's sometimes some herbs there. There's sometimes some ore up on top of that. You sometimes get some ore down in this little area right next to the Theatre of Pain there. I'll show where we are on the map now, just for orientation purposes. So we're now kind of northern tip. We're now going to head south with the Theatre of Pain on our left-hand side. So with this one, because this is a dual gatherer, miner, and herbs, I don't want to go too far in the centre here because you do get some ore deposits, as you can see on the mini-map as well, the red circles which spawn around here. So I kind of just stay on the right-hand side of the path. If any herbs do pop up, like these Marrowroot there, I can grab them, and I can also see the ore when it pops up on the left-hand side. At this point, we've now gone all the way down to the bottom corner of Theatre of Pain. We're now going to head south or west back towards the start point. And what I would normally do would kind of be sort of follow this area down here. Again, picking up the herbs over there. This is kind of where we started from, in this area over there. And then I would loop back around there and kind of do the same thing again. Again, you're not always going to follow exactly the same path all round, because you're also going to see some herbs, some ore which will kind of take you off your track, and then you kind of pick the track back up again. And that's it. So, why is this route good? And is it good? Well, it is very good. So I've got, in an hour I ran this. Now I have still got it on Loot Appraiser. It says 1 hour, it says 2 hours 6, but that really was just 1 hour's worth. At 30,000 gold for that hour. And what I've got is what's in these bags at the moment. So I picked up 194 Death Blossom, which on my server is 14 gold, and the minimum buy at the moment, which is what I based the 30,000 on, and with a region market value average of 15 gold 58. I've also picked up 230 Marrowroot, which is where I get most of my gold from. On my server it's pretty good at 75 gold compared to a region market value average of 49 gold. I picked up 14 Nightshade at 94 gold on my realm compared to 81 gold region market value average. I picked up 136 Oxxein ore, which is 35 gold on my realm compared to 54 gold region market value average. So that's actually more across the region what it is on mine. The laserite ore, very similar, 8 gold on my realm, 13 gold, 87 region market value average there as well. And finally, I picked up 10 lithium ore, which again, the ore seems to be all a little bit less than market value, market average, while the herbs are a little bit more on my realm. And the lithium ore on mine is 195 compared to region market value average 229. I've also picked up some shaded stone as well as some porous stone, but I don't really include that in the calculations because it's like 10 gold for each one of those. So in total, all of that ore added up together came to 30,190 on my server. If you take the calculations and those prices and the price I'm going to use for region market value average for the same quantities, if you were on a average EU server, that would equate to just under 29,000, like 28,800 for all of those. So it's roughly, give or take, about a 30,000 gold per hour average for both me and the EU. Now, where your price is going to potentially fluctuate is going to depend on whether you get more Marrowroot or more Death Blossom. Now, I've slightly got more Marrowroot on this than Death Blossom, but again, you could get even more Marrowroot or you could get a little bit less Marrowroot. But I would say very comfortably you're going to be getting at least 25,000 gold per hour based on the EU market average price, potentially maybe going up to 35,000 depending if you've got more Marrowroot, perhaps even a few more lithium ores thrown in there as well. So why should you do it? Is it worth doing? Well, I would say it definitely is. The bonus of this one is a very small loop, and in terms of mobs inside there, there's very few that's going to give you any problems. You're going to have a few of these, I think they're called alpha hoofs, kicking around, which you kind of need to dodge, and some of them do guard some of the the herbs in the ore. There's one that's down here, you see. That's the one, this alpha hoof there. And he kind of wanders up and down this area, and sometimes there's some herbs there you need to get. But again, if you run in this as a druid, you can just stay in travel form, grab the herbs, and then just run off again. So it's very, very good. The other advantage of it is, aside from the fact that there is very few mobs, it is a solo farm. You can literally just log on yourself. I've done an hour to get that 30,000 gold. Doesn't mean that you need to do an hour, just go and do 10 minutes or 15 minutes or half an hour if you want to. But if you do that fairly often throughout the week or the month, you're going to soon accrue loads of game time, loads of gold which you can turn into game time. So for instance, I've made 30,000 gold on this. If I did this every day for a month, worked on the basis of a 30-day month, that's 900,000 gold. And it's not like when you're doing a transmog farm that things are potentially going to need to be relisted or sold a bits and pieces. When you look through these, I've sold thousands of all these herbs and ore in my time. So, they do sell. You just throw them on the auction house, copy the lowest price. If they don't sell, just throw them back on again. If they don't sell, throw them back on again. And that'll be it. They will eventually all go. You also see loads of other druids and people on Sky Golems running around this area as well, so you know it's going to be a good farm. I also think it's a very sort of nice place just to chill. You haven't got to really think too hard about running around in a circle collecting all the herbs and all. And I think 30,000 gold in an hour sort of period is a very good benchmark of where you potentially should be looking for gold making in Shadowlands. If you're doing professions or fishing or other herbs or ore somewhere else or skinning and you're making 30,000 plus, that's fantastic. But I know doing this one, I'm going to make 30,000 very, very easily. There'd be very little point for me to try and do something else which would earn under 30,000 when this is just fairly chilled and I can just do this quite easily anyway. So I think that kind of sums it up. It's a very, very good loop, very, very simple and straightforward. You don't need to have any special gear to kind of go and do this. This is a dual gatherer druid. All I've got in terms of this is I've got the glove enchant, which is a Shadowlands gathering enchant on there, which I would thoroughly recommend. If you're going to do any form of gathering for longer than 5 minutes, just go and buy the enchant. It's probably about 50-60 gold, so just go and get it because it's going to make things a lot easier. Go and grab that. The gear I've got on this for someone who's now level 59 is abysmal. I've got like got a trinket here which is level 45. What level is another? Both of my trinkets are level 45. So you don't need to worry about gear. You can just make gold very, very easily. And the final two things I'll say about this is you'll also come up with some rares in this area. There's a rare that kind of wanders around the middle, which is like one of those rare sort of alpha hoofs. I think it's called Haunter, which you can kill on a daily basis. If you haven't killed it before, you get some loot. If you have killed it before, you end up just getting some anima objects. You've got another rare that sort of spawns in this area down here, and you've got another one which appears in one of these sort of two buildings over there. So there's 3 rares on a daily basis you can kill, which gives you anima, and it'll also work towards your Rallying Mole Draxus Aid the Necrolords if you've chosen to take this character through the Threads of Fate and not through the campaign storyline. So you're going to be working towards that as well. Finally, the other thing you're going to get, which is also a very big bonus, is experience. So when I started doing the loot boss level 58, and I was probably about 75%, 80% through level 58, and I'm currently, after an hour's doing worth of farming around here, at 23% through level 59. So if you don't want to do the campaign grind, don't want to do any dungeons, you just want to look for a very steady way of putting experience on your characters, as well as a bonus of making some gold at the same time, go and do this. If you've got a miner, I would recommend changing the route slightly and just staying on the outskirts of this loop. There's only a few sort of deposits in the middle. Stay on the outskirts, you'll see the central deposits you can run around anyway. Conversely, if you've got a herbalist, don't bother staying on the outskirts. Spend more time running around in the middle of this little area, because you're going to get more herbs there as well. And I think that sums it up. So hopefully you found this useful. Hopefully you might, if you've not found this already, come over here, go and collect as much Marrowroot and Oxxein ore as you possibly can. As I said, 30,000 gold an hour can't be sniffed at, and it's so straightforward and simple. You can just throw Netflix on or a stream on, chill out, and just do this at the same time. So thanks for watching, and until next time, goodbye.